Hey guys, welcome back to the Play On Footy YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking at the round 9 predictions in the AFL this weekend. Not as big a week of footy as last week's in terms of, direct competition of crosstown rivals as such. However, we start off with a Thursday night, classic at the MCG with two big Melbourne teams coming up against each other, the Blues and the Melbourne Demons. You've got Carlton, who have been basically coming off a bit of a loss last week. They'd want to be redeeming themselves as they lost to the Magpies, and Melbourne coming off a big win, one would say, against the Cats. You've got Brody Kemp, Mitch McGovern, Oliver Hollands, Jack Martin coming back into Carlton's side. Coming out is Lewis Young, Zach Williams, Orazio Fantasia and David Cunningham. For Melbourne, they've got Jack Bowie coming in, and out Bailey Laurie. I think it's a pretty evenly matched sort of game. I think Melbourne are lacking, obviously, their forward structure still. But across the ground, you're going to be seeing a lot of big battles. I think the big ones in particular are going to be the Carlton's forwards against Melbourne's backs in Lever and May versus Curnow and Mackay, and at times DeConing as well. So I think that's going to be a massive part in the game, and seeing how they sort of size up and who's going to obviously get on top of one another. The last time these two teams met, Carlton won by 2 points. This game has been played at the MCG. Typically, Carlton do prefer the MCG over Marvel Stadium. But I'm probably going to be putting my money where my mouth is this time and going for Carlton. I think, there were stages in that game where they could have put Collingwood away, or at least got a sizable or, enough margin for it to not be, coming down to the wire in the last minute or so, which typically has been a theme of their seasons thus far. But yeah, in terms of this game, I believe Carlton will get the 4 points. But yeah, we'll see until, obviously what happens tomorrow night. It's going to be a big game for both sides, but probably there's more to lose from Carlton's perspective. They can't afford to lose this one, whereas Melbourne's, they've been putting in the groundwork certainly early in this season. Big season to go, but I'm going to be putting my money on Carlton. The next one is the Cats versus Port. This is at GMHBA. The Cats Fortress, brand new Fortress in 2024. I'm going to be going with the Cats. Reason being, obviously, they come off the loss against Melbourne. It's their home ground. Port are coming in a little bit weak, a bit undermanned. And the last time these two teams met, Cats won by 12 points. That was also at GMHBA. I just feel that with Cats' home ground advantage, and they've got a relatively healthy list in the AFL in terms of injuries going around, and Port obviously just not having the same availability, I suppose. So yeah, I'm going to be going the Cats on that one. The next game is Freo versus Swans. This is at Optus Stadium in Perth. I'm going to be going the Swans. Last time these two teams met, it was the Swans that won by 29 points. That was also at Optus Stadium. Typically, Freo haven't really built much of a fortress over in Perth, likewise the Eagles, but I think Swans typically play quite well in Perth. I don't think they're really fazed by Optus. I remember the first game between Eagles and Swans, Buddy kicked 6 goals, I think, at the new stadium back in 2018. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be a massive issue for the Swannies to get over the Freo Dockers in this one. And obviously Swans coming off a big win against GWS, and Freo against the undermanned Tigers, basically. So yeah, I'm going to go the Swans on that one. The next game is the Hawks and the Saints. Look, both these clubs have a lot to lose, basically. I feel like the Saints have the most to lose. Hawks are obviously still in that sort of testing and proving stage, I feel, even though the Hawks came over that big off that big win over the Bulldogs at Marvel Stadium, and I think that was a tremendous win by everyone. This game has been played in Tasmania, UTAS Stadium. Last time these two teams met, it was Saints that won by 29 points at Marvel. But yeah, I'm going to go the Hawks on this one. I feel like my gut is pulling me more that way in terms of favouring the Saints. Saints typically don't play very well in Tasmania. That's one reason. The second reason I feel is that the Hawks, they've got a really good sort of, I guess, forward now in Deer, and if he's going to get another call up this week, which is more than likely, I believe, I think Hawks are in a better position. They've got Lloyd Meek, who's doing quite well in the ruck. He could probably handle Marshall quite well. It's just if they can get on top of Hill, make sure that he's at bay to some degree, because he got a pretty good run last week against North. So yeah, as long as they get on top of him, they should be okay. Next big game is the Bombers versus the Giants. This one is crucial for Bombers to maintain that third position on the ladder. But also, this is a very crucial game for the Giants, who've come off that 5-goal loss to Sydney Swans. I feel like the Giants will get up on this one. Last time these two teams met, it was Giants that won by 126 points. That was at their home ground. So yeah, I'm definitely going the Giants over the Bombers. Xavier Dersma's out for the Bombers, and I just feel like Draper's return is unlikely, and he's a big piece of the puzzle for the Bombers too, to help out Goldstein, who's been doing a tremendous job in the ruck. I just feel that the Giants will be hungry for redemption, and I'm going to be going the Giants in this game. The next game is Richmond versus Bulldogs. I'm going to be going Richmond. This is at MCG. Last time these two teams met, Bulldogs won by 53 points. That was at Marvel. So I'm going to be going for Richmond in this game. And the next game is the Suns versus North. I'm going to be going for the Suns in this game. Suns coming off that big loss to Brisbane Lions, and North coming off the loss to the Saints. Last time these two teams met, it was North that actually won by 35 points. So this game is quite pivotal for both teams, but more so for the Suns under new coach Damien Hardwick. They must play finals, and that's what he's pledged. I don't see the Suns losing this game. If they do lose this game, it's pivotal for their whole season, and it could come unraveling. I don't want to be, extreme pessimist here, but the Suns need to win this game, and I don't see why they can't. I think that their structure, for whatever reason, against the Lions last weekend just came crashing down. They didn't play like they normally did against the previous week, which was against the Eagles. And I just don't understand what happened there. I think there might have been some sort of structure that fell apart, which obviously needs to be addressed, and most likely will be this week. So I'm going to be going the Suns over North. North have got McKercher, they've got Cherry in the ruck. They've also got, hopefully Comben can step up and have a big game either in defence or forward. But Alistair Clark has been using him in the back line. I just feel that the Suns will get up and running. Took Miller will have in my opinion, have a big game. Flanders and Anderson normally do as well, and Matty Rao, who had a bit of a very quiet game in the Q Clash, I'm sure will bounce back, and Jed Walter up forward hopefully can bag a couple, as well as Ben King. So yeah, fingers crossed there. And the last two games, we've got Magpies versus Eagles. This is at Marvel. Typically Eagles play relatively good at Marvel. They had an upset win last season against the Bulldogs at Marvel. Unfortunately, they couldn't repeat that this year against the Bulldogs. But I feel against Magpies, who, Eagles are the Magpies' bogey team in a way. I feel like they can, upset the Magpies here. So I've actually got high hopes for the Magpies. Magpies don't have Tom Mitchell. They don't have Degoe as of yet. Degoe might be an if, but they don't have Myercheck as well. So Magpies are definitely coming into this undermanned, just like Eagles won't have Waterman. They won't be having Yo. They won't be having Noah Long. They'll probably be bringing Ryan Marrick in the forward line. There's a couple other things. Jack Williams did really well last week, kicked 3 goals, 1. So they've got options, the Eagles. Whether or not they give the debutant Clay Hall a run this week is obviously yet to be seen. But the Magpies obviously do have their weapon, Nick Dacos, Whisper. He's going to be... He could either make or break the Eagles. They need to tag him or do something with him. Last week, I don't know what Carlton's plan was, but he just ran rampant and obviously didn't work. The last time these two teams met, Collingwood won by 63 points. That was at Optus Stadium. Obviously, last season for the Eagles is completely different. They're a completely different team now. And hopefully Harley Reid can have a big impact on this game. as well. So I'm actually, it's a bit of a smoky one, but I'm going the Eagles in this one. I actually do believe that they can do a bit of damage, and yeah, watch that space. So that's my smoky for this round. Next one is the Crows versus the Lions. This one's at Adelaide Oval. I'm actually going the Lions in this one. Last time these two teams met, Lions won by 6 points at the Gabba. I just don't have enough confidence in the Crows yet. I just don't really believe in their game style and game structure, and I don't know if they can actually get that sort of continuity with their football. I just feel like the Lions under Fagan, even though they've got so many injuries, just like the Western Bulldogs and Richmond, I just feel like they can do a bit of damage at home. At Adelaide against the Crows. I think they're going to be definitely been putting a lot of pressure for Hipwood and Danaher to fire, and I do believe Charlie Cameron really needs to step up against his old side against the Crows. So I think with Lions mids, Zorko, Dunkley, Neil, once they get up and firing against Crows, I know they've got Dawson, Laird and Crouch. I just feel Lions will definitely be coming out with a point to prove, just like they did in the Q Clash. Because yeah, it's make or break right now for the Lions. If they lose against the Crows, who really a couple of weeks ago didn't think they'd be really giving any troubles any sides, there is a slight chance that they could challenge the Lions, of course, at home, like they did against Port Adelaide. But yeah, I just feel Lions, they do have a little bit more depth and experience than the Crows. And Fags will be coaching for his job in this game 100%. You saw the heat with Bevo. If Lions lose this one to Crows, I don't think the Lions faithful are going to be really supporting or backing Fags beyond 2024. That's my opinion. But what do you guys think? Comment down below, like and subscribe, and hopefully round 9 is just as exciting as round 8. I'll see you on the other side. Cheers.